Hey, good morning. Birthright citizenship, transgender athletes, campaign finance cases, and others were decided in the Supreme Court yesterday. Progressives won again in Colorado. Congress goes on recess after Republicans block a move to stop the U.S. Israeli military merger. That and more. It is 6:07 a.m. on Wednesday, the 1st of July. In Trump versus Barbara, in a 6-3 decision, the court ruled that the Constitution guarantees birthright citizenship automatically to virtually everyone born in the United States. Vice President Couch Vance, who's likely running for president in 2028, called the court's ruling a major mistake. Under presidential authority and emergency rulings, the justices greenlit Trump's sweeping government overhaul, granting the president near total control to fire members of independent agencies, such as the Federal Trade Commission, National Labor Relations Board, and Consumer Product Safety Commission, without cause. This upends nearly a century-old precedent, although the court made a specific exception protecting the Federal Reserve and Lisa Cook. The court upheld laws from West Virginia and Idaho that ban transgender student athletes from female sports teams. In campaign finance, the justices struck down a 50-year-old limit on how much money a political party and federal candidate can spend in coordination. Citing First Amendment free speech protections, the move was a victory for Couch Vance again, who had brought the case. The court backed Second Amendment rights in a pair of rulings, finding that people cannot be barred from owning firearms just because they regularly use marijuana, and striking down a Hawaii law requiring specific permission to carry guns into stores and hotels. The court also announced future cases that it will likely decide on in October when its new term begins. This includes whether state and local bans on semi-automatic rifles, often referred to as assault weapons, violate the Second Amendment, as well as hearing a Republican challenge regarding the use of proof of citizenship to vote. Democratic Socialist Melat Quiros defeated 15-term Colorado Rep. Diana DeGette on Tuesday, delivering one of the biggest shocks of the Democratic primary season amid a growing streak of wins for the progressive left. Quiros' win in the contest for Colorado's 1st district topples a 68-year-old representative who had held the seat since before her 29-year-old challenger was even born. DeGette had also received a massive influx of outside money, holding a 3-to-1 spending advantage over the progressive. Anti-establishment candidate State Attorney General Phil Weiser also defeated Senator Michael Bennet in the primary for state governor, although he was also heavily outspent. Meanwhile, Senator John Hickenlooper avoided an upset in his primary, defeating progressive state Senator Julie Gonzalez. A group of 14 House Republicans on Tuesday joined Democrats to block a procedural rule needed to advance a slate of bills, jeopardizing Speaker Mike Johnson's plans to advance this week's legislative agenda before a recess. They won on recess. The lawmakers voted 198 to 224 to sink a measure that included language that would have paired the NDAA with the Safeguard America Voter Eligibility Act, the SAVE Act, for transmission to the Senate if both measures passed the lower chamber. And I talked about this yesterday, but I'm going to keep talking about it because I think it's a big deal. A bipartisan effort to remove a controversial U.S.-Israeli defense integration provision from the National Defense Authorization Act never received a vote on the House floor after the House Rules Committee, in an 8-4 vote, all Republicans, declined to make the amendment eligible for debate. The amendment was introduced by Thomas Massie and Ro Khanna. It would have removed Section 219, formerly 224, from the NDAA. The Rules Committee's list of amendments made in order did not include the bipartisan proposal, ensuring it would not receive debate or a recorded vote before the House considered the broader defense bill. Outside Congress, opposition to the provision also crossed traditional political lines, Constituents contacted lawmakers from both parties. Advocacy organizations urged Congress to remove the language, and commentators from across the spectrum argued that the proposal deserved an open debate and recorded vote. Although it was blocked by the House Rules Committees and the Republican Party, the issue remains alive. It is going to go up before the Senate, so you can contact your senator at 202 224 3121 to push against a U.S.-Israeli military merger. And by the way, the 8 Republicans who voted not to bring it to the floor and not to give the people a vote were Virginia Foxx, Michelle Fischbach, Ralph Norman, Chip Roy, Aaron Houken, Nicholas A. Langworthy, Austin Scott, and H. Morgan Griffith. In Iran, the parliamentary speaker Ghalibaf says the country will not begin negotiations for a final agreement before the implementation of clauses 1, 4, 5, 10, and 11 of the Memorandum of Understanding. These clauses involve cessation of hostilities in Lebanon, removal of the U.S. naval blockade in the Strait of Hormuz, safe passage of commercial vessels with no charge for 60 days only, as well as waivers for the export of Iranian crude oil, petroleum products, and derivatives, and the release of frozen Iranian funds. The House on Tuesday adopted a resolution from Representative Thomas Massie that would direct the House Ethics Committee to preserve and release records related to monetary settlements paid out by lawmakers in connection with cases of sexual misconduct. The vote was near unanimous, with 420 lawmakers voting in favor and 1 Republican voting present. Nancy Mace was the only Republican to vote present. In a post on Tuesday afternoon, she questioned why the House was voting on Massie's resolution when the oversight subpoena she championed had already compelled materials about the settlements to be shared with Congress. I guess it's just political theater, she said. Today or tomorrow, I'm also going to do an update, an Epstein-only update that I'll release as well, just with Epstein news that isn't making the mainstream media. I'll push that around. There have been some smaller things. And in the middle of July, there are a number of individuals who are coming back for testimony about Epstein. That is going to pick up a little bit. I'm also going to do a specific post about the dialogue group because I'm not done with them. And the fact that mainstream media will not talk about them. Some smaller outlets are talking about them. And I'll talk about what those articles mentioned. They've been in the last couple of days. The DP.com, NashvilleScene.com, DW.com, MiamiHerald.com, TheGuardian.com, Wired.com has done a follow-up. They broke the original one. And ExpressNews.com have all done articles about it. I haven't gone through all of them, but that's just a heads up. If you want to go look for their articles, I will do a post either later today or tomorrow going through what those articles discuss, because I think we should be aware of what is happening with a secret group run by Peter Thiel that's bringing all of these elites together and why the mainstream media won't even touch it. That's the reason I'm digging in, because nobody's doing it. And if they're not going to do it, then fuck you, Joe Boo. I'd do it myself. That's the bulk of it. Again, next week, starting on Monday, I'll be gone. I'm going on vacation and taking a mental sanity break. But then I'll be back after for the rest of July and then figuring out what's going to happen in August, if I'm just going to move this update later on in the morning or what's going to take place. But I'm going to start talking about some things like the dialogue, the Epstein stuff, 219, that very well could get me removed from some platforms. Please follow me on Substack. If you can, support me there. That's where it seems like I'm not getting stepped on, and there's actually an email whenever I post, so they can't hide it in the algorithm. So if you could follow me there, that'd be huge, and it really helps. Okay? I hope you have a good day, and I hope great things happen for you. Thank you.